Okay, good afternoon or good evening, depending on the region you are, and welcome to this Google Maps webinar from SkyMap Global. My name is Santosh, and I am the marketing manager here at SkyMap Global, and I am joined by Akhil Shukla, who is our Google Maps certified consultant. So, on this webinar, I basically want to introduce you to some of the ideas because of which some startups and some businesses have actually disrupted, this industry. And Akhil will be taking you through some of the use cases of how businesses are using location intelligence to disrupt their industries. Now, so I'm from SkyMap Global, and I just wanted to quickly introduce you to our company. So we primarily deal with location intelligence and analytics from satellite imagery, from drones, from optical and radar satellites. We also integrate terrain data and information from IoT. Put all of this together and create solutions that we can deploy based on your requirements. So we have maps, of which we are premier partners for Google Maps in India and Southeast Asia. And we have information coming from other sources. We have a platform called ImageTrack through which we pass this information, we process and we visualize this, and then we apply that for your industry and for your project. So, like I was saying, we are premier partners for Google Maps in India and Southeast Asia, and we've successfully deployed Google Maps for over 1,000 businesses in all of these regions. And you know, just to sort of rewind, there was no taxi company that you could book from your phone app, especially 10 years ago. There was also no food delivery online 10 years ago. There was no groceries that you could online, order from your mobile phone about 10 years ago. And of course, there was no self-driving car about 5 years ago. This was sort of like a science fiction dream. What's more important today is you can bring salon services home. You can also get plumbers home. This is very important, especially for me. If there's something wrong at my place, I want to be able to book a plumber from my phone, and they're instantly there at my place in about half an hour or an hour. It's made our lives easier, hasn't it? So what's really driving all of this is basically location intelligence. And what really is location intelligence? It's the combination of all of this information that we have that makes it so beautiful to create new paradigm shifts in the way we do business and the way we consume information. So maps and location information is of course changing everything. It's creating new themes of businesses and redefining entire markets. So there are a million startups in the world today, and every day there are 1,000 more who can actually become the next Uber or Ola or Swiggy or Zomato or Big Basket or even Urban Clap. So what's powering this? It's actually the penetration of smartphones or computing. It's become very accessible now. I mean, imagine Geo, thanks to Geo, especially in India, even rural populace now have access to a smartphone through which they can get Amazon or Flipkart deliver stuff to their place. And it's happening today in India. So all of this is, whether it's logistics or tracking or business to business services or consumer services, all of this is today powered by location, and it's being powered by these small computing devices, which everyone has access to. So, what about you? And what about some of the more mature industries in which your company operates in? Well, one idea, when you combine that with location, you can definitely disrupt your industry or some of the processes within your own organization. So again, I just wanted to sort of introduce what really is location intelligence. It's how you can relate geographical content to your business data, how you can turn this data into insights for your business, and basically how you can combine all of this information, whether it's geographical information systems, your aerial imagery, external data such as demographic information, other population information, weather data, and also your own company database. So when you have all of this, you have really strong data set that you can work with to basically disrupt your industry. How? Let's find out. So what can you do with location intelligence? Two things actually. You can basically have two routes of thinking, and we can begin with starting to think spatially. How does place and location matter within your business or your organization? How answering where these things are or where objects are might help you better understand the business problems that you face in your company or your organization. For example, let's take an insurance company, right? Now, we all know that home insurance is quite random, about at least until a few years ago. There is a fixed premium for every home. But imagine if you're an insurance company and you can charge a premium based on understanding the geographic characteristics of an area. You can understand weather information, you can understand risk information such as, does this area flood often? You can combine satellite imagery, local maps, all of this information to create a model where you can manage risk. You can always have better information at your disposal to charge your customers a very competitive price. And of course, you can win more business. So you can have better claims process, you can have better customer satisfaction, you can even do targeted marketing. And what does it take for you to build such a model? It's quite simple. You just need geolocation. You need information from outside, weather information. You need address autocomplete capabilities for your internal systems. And you need some of the urban information statistics like population, gender, and so on. Imagine if you're a finance or a credit company, you're dealing with offering microcredit to either small businesses or you are basically offering credit to people. Now, you can monitor fraud and see how your people or customers are complying with regulations only by just geo enriching customer profiles. Using just location, you can identify where your customers are, where transactions are taking place, where certain incidents are happening, and where are some of the areas of risk, so that you can identify potential fraudulent behavior continuously. And of course, this is also real time. And what do you need to do this? It's simple. You just need geolocation. You need distance matrix, which we will talk about in detail as we go on. You need places information, such as, for example, Google Maps has a lot of places information, which we will get into later on. You need directions for your field personnel to go and meet your customers. And you need to visualize information so that you can make better decisions. And what do you get? You basically get improved risk management. You can improve your emergency response. You can even plan new revenue streams by introducing product lines or branches. So the next thing that you can do with location is enrich your existing data with location information. So how do we do that? You can think about what data you already own, and you can think about how location information can enrich or enhance this existing data in your company. For example, if you're a retail chain, you can use IoT devices or RFID devices. You can analyze customer behavior in your store. You can look at where people are actually going and what they are buying. And if you combine this with your mobile application, you can actually deliver instant notifications based on every customer's trend of shopping in your store, and combine this with past shopping history, and you can get significant information, and you can actually get higher engagement. You can actually drive purchase and loyalty. Now imagine if you can augment this experience with new technology like AR. You can give them real-time information the moment they point their phone at a specific product in your store. And the technology that you need for this is quite simple. You need, of course, a mobile application. You need real-time in-store location information, which is possible with relatively cheap IoT devices today. You need your existing customer database, which you already have, and your product SKU history for every customer. You of course also have your loyalty points associated with every customer. And in case you want to move, if you want to jump the curve, you can always use augmented reality. So all of this technology is actually quite affordable and quite accessible to most of the people today. So imagine you just put all of this together and you can create an experience that you would, definitely have customers coming back for more. Now, if you look at this map, this is basically a map of geo fiber and how they've penetrated the Indian market. Now you can visualize your existing leads, your customers, and your products on a map like this. You can understand which region you've already penetrated in, what kind of potential do you have in a region, and you can understand distinct patterns of what product is performing better, which region you can focus on, and how you can improve problems in the areas where you're not doing well. And of course, visualizing all of this information on a map can help your company, your people create better location-based local strategies. So GeoFiber has actually done a brilliant job of mapping out all of their fiber locations on the map. I mean, this looks very congested right now, but we can definitely do a better job at visualizing this information. But it only goes to show that if you have something like this, you know where you are present and where you are not, and how you can make strategies to actually attack in the areas where you want to capture. And what technology you need for this? It's you already have all of that. You have your existing customer database. You also can map your potential customer database on a map. You have your research data. You have your geolocation. And what do you need for your salespeople? You need to give them directions to your customer's house, and also basically optimize the route which they travel using distance metrics and directions. Now, so basically, what have businesses done over the last 10 years with location is they've combined an idea with location. And it's quite simple for anyone to do this. So taxi plus location, we have Uber and Ola and other companies who are coming in. You have food plus location, and you have Swiggy plus Zomato and other food delivery applications that are coming in. You have groceries and location. You can order groceries online via Big Basket and other applications today. You have vehicle and location, or any object and location, and you can actually track your assets. So companies like Safe Tracks and Shuttle and Easy Commute are now basically able to offer easy commute options for urban areas. If I want to travel from home to work, I can use one of these apps, and I know where my shuttle is at what time, and it basically gives me a better experience. I can prepare for the day. So if you take your business or your idea and location, I'm sure you can disrupt yourself. So let me pass this on now to Akhil, who will take you through more location examples and use cases. All right, Akhil, it's all yours.
Thank you, Santosh. That was quite insightful. And honestly, what you said is something that I truly believe in. Location has started to play a more and more critical role in today's world, today's business, today's governments, primarily because of the fact that people are now connected. And the reason they are connected is because our infrastructure it allows us to do that. Earlier, we used to have to consider that the rural population is very disjointed and disconnected from the urban population. But as you mentioned rightly, thanks to Geo and thanks to technology, affordability of the smartphones, everyone now has access to data and to location. And in today's world, the person who has this data has the advantage, but a bigger advantage is gained when you actually make meaningful, insightful discoveries using this data. Now, the data that you have might be very simple. The data that you have for a retail chain might be the stores that you have in different areas and different pin codes. Now, what do you do with this kind of data? How do you leverage location here? Now, it could be as simple as already demonstrated in the world, a store locator, a very simple store locator. What it does, it is that it tells you where the nearest store is. Now, this might not seem very exciting for someone who wants a store in the area that he lives in, because I know every store in the area that I live in. I know what's down the street. But what I do not know is what is available or not available. Now, the brilliance of this kind of an application is wherever I go, suppose I transit from my home to the office, I need to pick up groceries while I am coming back. Using a map, I can choose a store that is along the way to the office or on the way back from home, and I can keep the items ordered, pre-ordered and prepaid, so that when I pass, just like a McDonald's drive-through, I collect my belongings and I'm on my way. I don't even have to divert out of the way. This is what I think is a primary beautiful component of location. Taking information you already have, using the knowledge that you already have, and making it better using location. Similarly, now you have asset tracker as another very simple use case. Now, the reason I say it's a simple use case is that the concept has existed for a long time. Everyone needs to understand where their delivery is at any point in time. What asset tracking has done is made it even easier for customers to understand where the delivery person is. But how does it impact your business other than customer satisfaction? That's a very simple answer. It reduces your operating costs. When your routes are optimized, your drivers know exactly where to go. They know what are the traffic conditions, they know predictive travel time, and your operations and routing is optimized to save you fuel, to save you driver overtime. All this contributes to saving costs, saving money for the business, and also growing the business. This is what is done using location. Another use case is location tagging. I mean, we've been doing it. We check in using Facebook, we check in using different applications, we upload our photos there, and we tag our locations. Now, what this done is brings more visibility or more business through curated location. Now, if you tag a location on the map and it is associated with what a person is searching for, and you tell him that, hey, you know what, the thing that you're looking for is just 50 meters ahead. Now, that will drive the person to at least visit the store. And this is what is location tagging all about. Similarly, location sharing. Now, if you forget for a moment the business use case of location sharing, the best use case for location sharing, as I see it, is whenever I take late night flights and at 1 a.m. I start from the airport going back home, I can share my live location with my parents and they can rest assured that I'm safe on my way. Now, this is a very this is not business. Let's step away from business for a second. This is very useful, powerful information for someone to rest assured about their family's safety. Now, how it transitions into business is you have applications and you have companies who are working on personal safety as well. It could be for school kids, tracking of school buses, and taking it further a level down, tracking the kids themselves using IoT devices. And sharing of the location and live tracking is as simple as opening another mobile application. Local discovery again becomes very easy with location. Now, this is useful primarily for people who keep traveling frequently, and also if you want to attract more businesses to stores that are actually not getting the traffic. Or this could simply be used to arrange meetings of salespeople with prospective clients. You understand where a salesperson is, and you understand where his nearest client is or who he should be visiting. Location discovery does not have to be a restaurant. It can be any given metric of your organization. A very big use case for location obviously has to be travel planning. Now, whenever you plan a trip, suppose you want to go overseas or you even want to travel within the country, the biggest problem I would say, apart from the ticketing, is where do I stay? Now, I'll discuss local visualization with you. I just skipped a few slides because essentially they talk about the same things. Let me talk about visualization. As Santosh already said, potential of an area versus penetration of an area makes a huge use case for businesses. You need to be able to understand which geographies are responding to you and which geographies are not. But if you look at the data, what does visualization actually help you is it helps you tell a very powerful story based on the data that you have already gathered. Now, in the screen example that you can see, these are wells that are being, how do I, what would be the right term? These are being created, I would say, for the local people. And when you visualize all of this, you overlay this with population data. You can understand that for a given population set or a given demographic, there has to be n number of wells. Similarly, for a given urban area, a society that has a population of a few thousand people, you can understand that there needs to be at least one or two stores in the area. A very big use case for this is in the customer service industry. We had a particular client who was not very satisfied with the way customer service was being handled. We did a deep dive. We understood what kind of requests were being generated and we plotted them on the map. We wanted to understand where are the requests actually coming from. What we discovered is that the service center was actually 2 kilometers away from the cluster from where the requests were being generated. Now it's as simple as plotting this on a map and understanding that you know what the location is not right for us. That is the most simple yet powerful use case of location that I can come up with. Fleet tracking has again been a very talked about issue, or rather I would say an opportunity more than an issue, because all your companies out there doing grocery delivery, doing taxi, doing any kind of delivery, all work on the concept of fleet tracking. You can help your businesses make fast and informed decisions, all the while improving the efficiency and the routing of the drivers. Now, the best use case for maps for someone like me who travels a lot and travels very frequently and has multiple meetings is as highlighted on the screen. There is an option that says search as I move the map. Now, all those of you who have actually been to the NCR region, which covers the Gurgaon, the Noida, the Delhi region, would understand what I'm talking about. I have meetings in the morning in Gurgaon. I have meetings in the evening in Delhi and Noida. Now, I need to decide when I land at 6 a.m. in the morning, where do I actually book the hotel? It has to be close to the meetings that I have and that I can attend. So this search as I move the map feature is very useful to me because I can move the map, understand where my meetings are, and then accordingly choose the hotel. Similarly, showing a map actually increases the engagement. It retains customers on your web platform. And that is really important when you're trying to convert the visitors into customers. They need to be on your map. They need to interact enough to understand what you're selling and if it makes sense for them. And the map actually makes it possible because the number of elements that you can interact with on a map is huge. Similarly, these examples, like drawing on a map, someone looking for real estate wants to only look in a certain area. They're only interested in this area. What do? Just let them draw on the map. Let them tell you what exactly they need. Let them save it, share it with their friends, get more people onto your platform. All the data that you have interactable on a map. Similarly, the option of the map allows you to, in real estate, all that matters is location, location, location. You need to be able to understand how far is the airport, how far is the train station, how far is the nearest hospital, the school, the bank. All of this can be visualized using a map. Now, similarly, one application that we had developed ourselves in-house is an application that is being used by the Kolkata Traffic Police, which is called a Bandhu application or a Bandhu application. Now, the application utilizes the existing infrastructure and existing, let's say, workflows. All we have done is made it into a mobile application that leverages the location component. The parking spaces can be looked at if there is space to actually park or not. People can report if there is any problem they are facing in terms of road infrastructure. Somebody can take a snapshot of the signal, of the guardrail, of a pothole, and then along with the image, they have the location tag and it is sent to the police. They immediately have access to all of this information on a dashboard and know exactly where is this problem exist, where does this problem exist, and from there they can directly go there and solve it. In a similar fashion, another demo application that we had come up with is a routing application where you have multiple deliveries, a given set of vehicles, and you need an optimized route for all of these. What do? The simplest thing is you put all of this into the Google Map, and then as simple as going home, when you're looking for directions to go home, we optimize the directions to go to multiple stops. This works both ways. This works to improve your customer satisfaction as well, but effectively it is helping your employees as well. Imagine a driver on the roads of Bangalore driving for 7 hours in a day. When he comes back, he is going to be pissed. The traffic is a very big problem. Suppose you are able to find an efficient route for him that does not have traffic. That's in an ideal world. But in the real world, what you can do is reduce the time he's spending on the roads. You optimize his delivery to take into account the capacity of the trucks, the priority of the delivery, and where he should exactly be starting from and going back to. Does he come back to the warehouse? If not, we can find a better way. So all of this information becomes very easily accessible using maps. The APIs are already built. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel. We are trying to take the wheels and attach it to our existing infrastructure. Similarly, a very simple application that can be delivered is a pooling application, employee pooling application or a car pooling application per se. All you have to do is you have to understand what is the capacity of the car, when do people actually need to reach a particular destination, and then all you have to do is give this information to Google, and Google APIs return to you the most optimum route, and all your driver has to do is follow the route. Now the per capita income that you have, let's say you have access to this data. India, we have access to the census data of 2011. If you take all of this data and you overlay this on a map, you start to understand how certain geographies look like. Now, after that, what you do is you take your own customer data and you start plotting it on the map. You might have regional sales managers, territory sales executives, you might have zonal managers. Let's do that. Let's divide the map into your zones, into your geofences. Let's draw boundaries and understand what kind of customers do you have versus what kind of people exist in that demographic. Now, would that not be a very simple and effective way of understanding if your business is actually healthy in that area or it needs care? A simple color-coded graph like this, a map like this, I think would any day be better than an Excel. Now, we've been discussing, use cases, customer stories, but what are the actual figures? What are the actual returns on investment that people have been able to achieve out of implementing location? I want to take you through certain numbers that will actually show you the impact. Now, Harley Davidson, we all know, does not need introduction per se, but even they needed to do something more for their consumers. What they needed to do is they needed to give them a platform which complements the bike. A bike is meant for journeys. It is meant for long distance travels. It is meant to be flaunted. But how do you do that? You need to plan with friends. Now, in earlier days, inspired by, let's say, Pirates of the Caribbean or anyone, we had treasure maps and paper maps, but that is no longer feasible or viable. Now you get together with a group of friends and you plan a journey to go somewhere. Right, we understand that you're excited, you have the new bike, you need to get there. But what you need more is you need to plan the way. It's about the journey, not the destination, as they say. You need to understand where the fuel stops are. You need to understand where the hotels are. Now, what they did is create a simple ride planner, which is powered by the Google Maps. Now, using this, you can understand where to avoid traffic, where the hotels are, and where exactly you need to be. What did this do? It gave them 3,000 plus app downloads per month. That is a significant number. Millions of rides are being planned using this map based interface. And the reason for that is this interface is uniform across the web and mobile platforms. You plan on the web, you simply push it to your mobile application, share it with everyone you know. People can track you. Riders can plan, save, share, and display their routes. Users can plan the trips via the website and then use the iOS and Android on the road. Riders can search for gas stations, hotels, and other attractions, all using maps. The APIs that they use is the Google Places API to look at places of interest. They use the SDK for iOS, they use the SDK for Android. As simple as that. Right? You and I could have come up with a similar application, but they did it first, and that's the early movers advantage. Now, similarly, a dispatcher, if you have multiple vehicles, a dispatcher can understand based on a map with real-time traffic. He can interact with the drivers and he can tell them that, you know what, you should be avoiding this route. The reason is that there's a lot of traffic that I can see that is starting to build up. I think rerouting would save you a lot of time. And in other countries where street view is very dominant, what you can show is where exactly is the door. Especially in places like Bangalore, the problem is that the U-turns are at least 5-6 kilometers away. Now, not 5-6, maybe 1 or 2, but that is still a big deal. If you can identify whether it's on the left side of the road or right side of the road, it saves a lot of time. 190,000 fleet vehicles are monitored using the map-based interface, and 16,000 plus customers use the tool. It's not the employees, the customers love this tool. And the reason they love it is because it is so intuitive. The benefits are that the works allows them to team to focus on the work instead of the customer support issues. The platform is more effective, interactive, and engaging. Maps are very easy to use for both customers and the engineering team. Another use case that I've already described to you, Staples Store. With Google Maps, they've been able to very easily build a website and mobile app that lets people quickly find nearby store. But what they fail to highlight here, which is my favorite part of the equation, is customers can quickly buy products online and then pick the orders up in the store. This is like a drive-through, not for fast food, but for your grocery items. Now, Domino's, we all love pizza. Domino's Australia earlier used packages, potential franchises to opt for the lowest tier, lowest price locations. They enrich the existing data with location to define areas into gold, silver, and bronze. Now the franchisees actually pick the highest tier because they understand sales implication of that particular location. The simple use cases: take existing data, plot it on the map, understand the potential of an area.
Akhil, now that we are on location, I have a question from a viewer. He says, I have a client who has multiple showrooms across India. How can I use maps to increase footfalls and attribute the footfalls to online maps? We do have local listings for all showrooms.
Okay, great question. So essentially what you do is you have the location of all your stores. Now you start making it a more customized experience. I understand that these stores might already be on a Google map, but suppose you make it a more customized or dedicated portal that you have. And then along with the stores, what is more important to me from understanding the location of a store is that whether the store is actually, is there someone who will take care of me right away, or is there a queue that I need to stand in? What I need to understand is what is inside the store. You need to tell me that this store is located here, yes, but now would be an ideal time to go there. And then understand what the person needs, understand whether he wants, what time does he want to go there, predict the traffic based on what time of day he wants to be there. Then ask him, does he want to actually drive to work from there? Does he want to visit the store while coming back from work? These kinds of intuitive questioning will actually let you make a bespoke experience for your customers. This will increase the engagement that you have with the stores. So this essentially becomes like a planner for you visiting the store.
And I mean, if the retail outlet or if it's a big chain, if they have a mobile application, whenever a customer enters a store, they can attribute this visit to that particular store. Of course, there are other ways of doing it, but this is probably one of the easiest. Plus, a mobile application will also help them, supply real-time notifications. It will tell them, what products we have special offers on, and of course, increase engagement. Would that be a good?
Yeah, definitely. Attribution to the online maps, I would say the planner, when you have the planner, when you have someone booking appointments to visit your store, that automatically will attribute. What you do is you book appointments online, or you offer specific codes that they can use when they make a purchase that gives them additional discount. All of this, attribution actually is a very different ball game. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways in which you can attribute the online presence to the footfall. So one other very interesting use case leveraging Google Maps again is real estate, where 99 acres is using the geocoding directions and distance matrix to give context to the customers as they conduct research and evaluate properties. Now, what this has resulted in is 9 million page visits per month to the website. 70% of the visitors engage with the map. 70% is a really high number. And the reason people engage with the map on this kind of a website is because real estate is everything about location. You can simply zoom into the map and you can understand that there is a railway station here, there is a bus stop here, there is a mall here. All of this on the map makes a lot of sense. Users, the benefits is users now have access to information about points of interest, the neighborhood, the hospitals. Consumers are already familiar with maps. Everyone is familiar with Google Maps because it is the most widely used maps in the entire world. The data accuracy prevents the addition of incorrect location information on listing pages. This internally helps their agents also post an exact address. Now, this statement I include in all my presentations, and you will understand when you read it. Google Maps provides the most accurate and reliable data, which is crucial for us because maps and locations are central to our business. We also knew Google's intuitive interface would provide a great customer experience with little to no learning curve. The learning curve is actually little, or there exists no learning curve, and that is the most powerful component of Google Maps. You do not need to train people to be able to use it. People automatically, intuitively understand how to use it. Now, how do you actually, let me come to the point where you actually get your hands on a Premier license, or where do we come in specifically? We, as Santosh said, are the premier partners for Google for India and Southeast Asia, and we have a lot of experience in implementing the maps across a wide spectrum, be it government organizations or any vertical that you can possibly think of. Location will exist over there, and if location exists, SkyMap has implemented over there. What we can do for you specifically is we can get you free consultation and support. We can get you the licensing itself, and we can also help with integrating the maps APIs in your application. We can sit down and brainstorm with you. If you've not already thought of ideas, we can brainstorm how exactly your business can use the location component. And after that, we can also help you with the implementation part of it. We conduct a lot of events and workshops offline as well. And what we do is we expose you to newer case studies, because every day we are closing some or the other client with a very unique use case. The number of startups in India is exceeding uh, a million, I would say, right now. I mean, more than that. And all of these brilliant ideas, these brilliant people want to somehow leverage the location component. And we, as SkyMap, as partners of Google, have the unique opportunity to absorb all of this experience and knowledge. And we can share that directly with you. You don't have to wait for this idea to come to you. Sit with us, bounce ideas off of us, and we'll let you know what exactly works. Now, we have solutions, ideation, and brainstorming. We have a cloud platform of our own. We can do POCs, workshops, and seminars. We keep doing online as well as offline. The expertise that we carry, again, can be described into four components: the visualization part, potential versus penetration of areas, location services, including asset tracking, then movement optimization, route planning, and location intelligence. All of these put together is what Google Maps is all about and what SkyMap is all about. Now, let me show you a very simple demo application. Now, again, the UI might not be that great because this is a demo application after all, built specifically for the webinar today. Now, as simple as this interface is, I am a retail chain. This is where my warehouse is located. And I have to deliver today to 10 locations that are distributed around the city. And then I have with me 4 delivery vehicles that are available at this point in time. This can be done dynamically in real time. Now I've submitted the data for processing. The APIs that I used are JavaScript to load the application, the distance matrix to understand the distances and travel times based on real-time traffic, and then the directions to find the most optimum route. What this application has returned to me is a vehicle number, a driver, and the route that will be taken by that particular vehicle. Now, if your driver actually starts driving, as you can see on the map, there is a moving pointer. Now, this is the route that the driver is supposed to take. And with the GPS and IoT devices on board the vehicle, we can simultaneously plot the route that the actual route that the driver has taken. Overlay this information to understand bottlenecks, to understand the most optimum delivery times, and if the delivery was actually delayed due to the traffic conditions, due to the area, or was it a driver problem. This insight that you derive from a very simple application as this can be very powerful, can have a very powerful impact on your business operations. I think I've covered most of it and I've taken up too much of your time. Having said that, we are open for a question and answer session if you would have any questions for us. If not, feel free to please contact us on our email ID or do visit our website. We have our offices in multiple locations. You can reach out to us directly via phone call, or you can reach out to us through the email ID sales@skymapglobal.com. I hope today's session has been interesting for you, and thank you everyone for attending.